Welcome to the tutorial for mission number 18, Just for Relaxation, a mission that has undergone quite a few changes during the last year. And here, obviously skipping all the cutscenes. Now you can jump over this bonnet by using the double jump trick, that means just mashing jump. Similar to the horde, but you don't have to do that, it won't be faster at all. And start talking with Ralphie, so trigger him, that he starts talking in order to get the Lassiter V16. Unlock Strat. Now we go to Vinny and trigger him in order to get the guns, and obviously we'll get the professional setup. That means a Colt 1911 and a baseball bat. Well, isn't this fair? Right? Of course it is. Yeah, one thing I'd like to mention as well is that in this mission we're gonna utilize clips again, so you need to have an uncapped frame rate, 62 to 63 FPS. Yeah, in order to pick up those guns, just mash right mouse button and the number key 1, as always. And if you can't get past Paulie and Sam, just jump down the stairs from the top of the staircase. It's going to give you no damage. And let's now enter the Falconer, not the Lassiter V16 folder, and drive forward, but just a bit. You see a tiny bit. Not much. And why? Now Sam starts running and runs straight to his place, and Paulie starts runs straight to his place. Otherwise they will run around the car. And if you drive forward too much, you will just have Paulie run around all the time. In this mission we're going to utilize the Falconer clip, found out by Beta, that's why we're going to use the Falconer. And it's faster than getting the Lassiter V16 obviously. And then we're going to clip into the harbor and trigger the port part very fast. And this setup was found out by Podingus. There were some discoveries previously by Beta who mentioned there might be a chance to go for it, but then Podingus came by and found a solution to do so. And then in the end we will also use some strats by Beta and Podingus in order to get the crates fast into the truck. Or onto the truck, more likely. So yeah, you don't want to have cops here, just drive around. And now after you can see the wall with Port of Lost Heaven, just smack into the next segment of the wall on the left hand side. Don't be dead straight, have an angle, but not too much of an angle, something like 15 to 30 degrees. And what I want to do now is pretty much align the car using the right front point of the roof. So pretty much what I'm marking with the arrow right now, I want to reverse so that this point is getting lowered by one height of the brick tiles you can see behind on the wall. So let's see how it works in action. I'm just going to reverse, as you can see, focus on that point of the roof. And you see it is lowered by one height of the brick tiles. Now get out of the car, crouch and smack into the bonnet of the car, and you should clip. If you're struggling, you can use the reverse camera and then use the left mouse button to actually move the camera to align better. Now shoot this guy with a Colt from the side, pick up the papers, very important, papiers d'identité récupérés. And now just go ahead with the truck, change the camera if you need to do that. Go through the building and stick to the left side and hold left all the time. And smack into the hatch before you see the gap. If you do it afterwards, you will fail this mission. And it's not the game's fault or the fault of Podingus who found out this glitch, it's just your fault because it didn't execute it properly. If you fail this skip, just go back to the main menu and reload this mission, otherwise this truck will be stuck in first gear basically. So here we're going to utilize a skip that has been found by Podingus, again, to carry those crates through the wall. You want to do a drift here before the green containers and then reverse into that gap that you can see. And then turn your steering wheel completely to the right hand side. Get out of the truck and now go upstairs, but backwards. Do not go forward or look somewhere else, just go backwards until you pass this guy. And now you start carrying those crates. And you see that I'm going backwards and right, so basically at a certain angle. And those are the Beta strats. It's faster to do so, to carry those crates while going backwards. It's kind of weird looking, but it's actually saving quite a few seconds here, considering the amount of crates. And what you want to do is actually go to the wall, do a 45-degree angle and throw it away. So déposer arme. In my case it was T set up, just like in the introduction video mentioned. But you have to check how you set it up. There might be the case that you drop a box, and if you drop the box, you should try to pick it up again, which can be a problem. It might take quite a few seconds. And then just go a meter up front or back and try it again with the 45-degree angle, obviously, and it will probably work then. The other issue that isn't completely clarified up to this point is that you can actually aggro those guys and they start shooting you. I always carry the crates, well, the left ones first, then the right ones, and it worked pretty consistently, but sometimes it still fails. So if you find a completely consistent setup, be sure to post it in the comments or in the Mafia Speedruns Discord server. Now here you want to kill those 3 guys in a strike, because then you have 1 car less in the chase that is upcoming now. So yeah, in total this strat saves around 3 minutes and 20 seconds. For me it saved like 3:30 I believe, compared to my run, but I was always struggling with the crates to unload them and all that stuff. It was taking too long. But it's a huge time save compared to the previous tutorial. So kudos to Pedingus and Beater. Yeah, you can take this route or also the route at the harbor. Isn't too much of a difference, but you still have like 2 gangster cars that are chasing you. And I would always recommend to shoot those gangsters when you arrive at the hideout. Do not gamble too much unless you really chance it for something like a sub 2:55 run or whatever. But normally it's going to be the better case, because if they play pinball with the truck, you lose up more time. And if you also trigger the cops, then you're up for a good old shit show. So yeah, we arrived at the hideout. Now we get out of the truck. Everybody's happy. I'm just checking if no gangsters are chasing me from behind. Now let's get into the truck to see the radar. Start up the truck. Oh. There was a bad guy, so we just kill those gangsters. They might also kill Sam, so if you just say, I don't need to kill them, I'm just going to drive ahead, Sam might die in the end when you reach the warehouse, which would be very frustrating in my opinion. So now the second gangster car showed up and is going to chase us. So at least he's not going to kill Sam, or they are not going to kill Sam, because you have 1 car with 2 guys and the other car with 3 guys. And you also don't want to trigger the cops here. If you're already chasing the gangsters, triggering the cops will probably be a bad thing, so use the reverse camera strat. Now you can see me run out of fuel, and I used to try it just by pretty much shooting the entire truck down and driving through the entire town, and I never ran out of gas. But apparently there's a very rare case that you can actually run out of gas. But you have to have a pretty much beaten up truck. So it always is the right strat to kill those gangsters. So here, just go full throttle and take those turns to Chinatown, now up left with full speed. You can also take the tunnel and the Giuliano Bridge. It is pretty much even, but this gives you a much nicer straight, so you can pretty much just go full throttle and reverse camera. So the chance of encountering cops on this way is lower than on the tunnel and Giuliano Bridge way. So here also, just turn right with full force. You don't need secondaries here. You can steer the truck quite normally. Obviously the reverse camera has a very limited sight, so the perspective is kind of sketchy. But you'll get used to it. And you can always glance. Or use a different camera, obviously. There we go, pay attention to this turn. Do not smack with all the goodies. With the cigars, obviously. I nearly smacked there. So yeah, after this turn to the left hand side, you can pretty much go full throttle and don't care about the cops. Since as soon as you arrive at Salieri's warehouse, the next mission is going to trigger. That means moonlighting. So you don't have to worry about the mission not triggering because you have cops chasing you. Like in most cases. Especially moonlighting. So yeah, we just take the left turn and we finally arrived. That was just for relaxation. A huge time save in this tutorial that you're going to enjoy a lot. So yeah, that's it for just for relaxation, and we'll see each other in the next tutorials.